Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here. This is Off the Top Rope. I'm going to issue a spoiler alert. Um, don't if you have not seen Grand Slam Australia, which is going to air almost a full day after it actually happened on television, which is still a completely separate issue. Do not watch what is about to come here for the next 20 seconds or so as I reveal to you the results of what happened in what was the main event of the show, which is Mariah May and Toni Storm. And predictably, Toni Storm is the AEW Women's World Champion again for the fourth time. First of all, Toni Storm is unbelievable. If anybody deserves to have a pay-per-view in their home country and main event it, it should have been a pay-per-view. And I think if anybody got disrespected more than anybody through this whole debacle that was Grand Slam Australia, it is Toni Storm. Because this show was meant for her. She's the reason that they tried to do this. And it failed, which is not in any way a reflection of her. But congratulations to Toni Storm on winning the Women's World Championship back from Mariah May. But that's not what this video is about. The title run of Mariah May has come and gone. She held it for about 180 days. And I have come to one conclusion on this title reign. I like Mariah May. I think she's got the right combination of beauty, great wrestler, really talented, really young, and is going to do a lot of great things in the business. What in the fuck was this title reign? This title run, what was the point of this other than to get it back to Toni Storm? Like, you could have done this in like a week and it would have, or you could have done this in like a month or so with some of these title things, and it would have been like, it would have landed maybe slightly better because it didn't go on as long, because there was also other things within the title reign and some of her promos just burying the division, which I didn't like. I understand it was somewhat character work, but let's crunch the numbers here. So she has that amazing match with Toni Storm at Wembley Stadium All In. She wins the title. About a week later, 10 or so days later, she faces Nyla Rose for the Women's World title. Nyla has effectively become like a gatekeeper, first title defense for most people. She wins that. She faces Yuka Sakazaki with no build other than the fact that Yuka is kind of a diminutive with a weird voice and like she's the magical girl. That didn't land. Willow Nightingale, fresh off of losing to Chris Statlander in really a great match, but she loses the Street Fighter, the Chicago Street Fight that they had the previous month's pay-per-view. So we knew Willow wasn't going to beat her. Then she faces Anna Jay twice. Anna Jay's two of her best matches ever, and they effectively rule Anna Jay out of it. So that's great. Then she faces her longtime friend Mina Shirakawa. That was built for a while. The match was fine, but it really, like, also the reveal and how they got to that point and the turn didn't really land. And then in a throwaway match, they really just say, yeah, let's give it to Thunder Rosa because, hey, she had the sign basically saying women's wrestling's on the rise or something, and Mariah decided to bury it. Even though this was while the whole Toni Storm thing was sort of set up, was set up by the Toni Storm, like, coming back thing. Like, this came together at Winter is Coming. Toni Storm comes back. So everybody knew with Toni Storm back that something was going to happen. She was still in the rocker gimmick and that. And then we get the title change. And that's Mariah May's title run. Seriously, what did this accomplish? What does this accomplish? Like, she won the title, great match, and she had this amazing heel turn. But really, ever since Mariah May made that change on Toni Storm and then won the title, nothing happened. This women's division is not better at all, and you go right back to Toni Storm, which begs the question, why did Mariah May win the title? If you're going to have a crowning moment, at least elevate the star and elevate the division. This did nothing. This did absolutely nothing for the AEW women's division, which is exactly the same problem if you want to extend to what happened earlier on in the night with Harley Cameron. And some people are like, oh, Harley Cameron's only won one match in her AEW career. Didn't everybody want the Outrunners to win the tag team titles from the Young Bucks when they had literally won 1 or 2 matches their entire career in AEW. If you're over, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit how many wins you have? It's all about elevating and putting stars at the next level. And you look at this run for Mariah May, none of these matches really did anything for anybody. Like, Willow was at her lowest point. She's a great babyface, but she had just lost to Statlander, and that got minimized when Chris just turned babyface again. Anna Jay, who had just come and really elevated her game in Japan, she loses 2 matches and then can't challenge for the world title again. And this was right after she had lost to Mercedes for the TBS title. So she had already lost a bunch. Mina Shirakawa is not even really a part of AEW. We knew she wasn't winning. And Thunder Rosa has been tossed around since she came back from injury like she is just a prop. I love Thunder Rosa. And she had an unfortunate circumstance in injury, but none of these did anything for anybody. And it's a shame because, listen, I think Toni Storm, I think she is a phenomenal talent, 4-time women's champion. Like, she is, let's call it what it is. As of right now, I think she is one of the faces of this company because when she's on the screen, everybody cares. And there's very few people in this company that really do that. Will Ospreay to a degree, but Will Ospreay isn't at the top of his division. He's still going around with Kenny Omega. So, yes, while I think it was great and it was completely obvious that Toni Storm was going to win this match. So if you considered it a spoiler alert, everybody knew it was going to be a real shocker if Tony Khan didn't give the title to Toni Storm in her home country. That would have been a really big shocker to me. It would have been very Vince McMahon, in which he's kind of becoming Vince McMahon. But the point is, I don't know what this title reign for Mariah May did for anybody. What was the point? Really, it's honestly one of the most pointless title runs. And that's been par for the course for this company lately. Like, look at the world title right now. What's the point of this Death Riders run? What's the point of that? What's the point of Okada's title run? Takeshita, okay, Takeshita's a star, but he's the international champion. And now you got the tag team titles with the Hurt Syndicate, but like, a lot of pointless title runs, par for the course. But I feel bad for Mariah May because, like, she's so talented, but she wasn't really given a chance to run. Her character work was weird. She was burying the division. And then all of a sudden, this thing runs on for 175 days, and then she just drops it right back to Toni Storm. And we're right back where we were before. What was the point of all this? Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.